Welcome to Impact AI Studio. Research Mode. Research Mode does exactly what it sounds like. It helps you research the current contact record. This is probably what most people think of when they think about AI. You can ask questions like, "Oh, tell me about this person. Analyze my history with this contact. What should my next step be? Give me a summary of the sales projection." Let's take a look. Down here, I'll switch Impact AI Studio into Research Mode. From here, I can type anything I want, or I can use one of the preset prompts under the light bulb. I'm going to choose "Give me a brief summary." That's just a prompt telling AI what I want back. Now, I'll ask for a brief summary of the sales projections and press Enter. And there it is. AI gives me back a quick summary based on the information available in this contact record. Now, keep in mind, this is the demo database. Some of this data is years old. You can see the last email here was from 2020. So your results are going to vary depending on the quality, age, and amount of data in your own database. Now, let's talk about something very important. What data is AI actually analyzing? Because in order for AI to help, we do send selected information to the AI engine for analysis. To control that, we'll go into Impact AI Studio, then About, then Research Mode. This is where you decide exactly what data Impact AI Studio is allowed to share with AI. By default, we do not send the entire record. That's intentional. You may have sensitive fields in your database, things like social security numbers, private notes, internal codes, or other information you would never want sent over the internet. So by default, Impact AI Studio only shares basic core fields. When you click Share Data, you can see the default fields selected, such as address, city, state, zip, email address, phone numbers, birthday, and other standard contact information. But if you have custom fields that are important to your business, you can choose to include them. For example, let's say you have a custom field called pet names, and that information matters when researching or summarizing the contact. Impact AI Studio will not send that field by default. You would come in here, turn that field on, save your settings, and from that point forward, AI can include that field in its analysis. That gives you control over what is shared. The next set of data is related data. For example, the current contact may be attached to a company. Here, you can decide whether to share information from the contact's company record. Again, only selected company fields are shared by default. If your company table has custom fields, maybe number of employees, annual revenue, industry type, customer tier, or anything else important to your process, you can turn those fields on. And if you do not want any company information sent to AI, you can simply turn that option off. Now, let's look at the four main areas of related data: notes, histories, activities, and opportunities. These are extremely important because they tell the story of your relationship with the contact. For opportunities, the same rules apply. Allows you to create custom opportunity fields. If you have a field like major obstacle, decision maker, competitor, or estimated close reason, and you want AI to consider that information, you need to turn that field on. By default, Impact AI Studio includes standard opportunity fields like opportunity name, process, stage, status, start date, and other core fields. But your custom fields are your business intelligence. So if you want AI to analyze them, you decide which ones to share. Now let's talk about notes, histories, and activities. If a contact has been in your database for 20 years, you may have decades of notes, histories, and activities. Most of the time, you probably do not want AI analyzing all 20 years of that data. It may be too much information, and much of it may no longer be relevant. For day-to-day research, you usually want recent, accurate, useful information. So Impact AI Studio lets you control the date range. By default, notes may only be shared for the last month. But maybe your sales cycle is 6 months. Or maybe you want AI to look back over the last year. You can change that. You can say, send notes from the last year, send histories from the last year, send activities from the last year. That way, AI is working with the most relevant data for your business. And that's really the key point. The better the data you choose to share, the better the AI response will be. If your database contains years of valuable notes, custom fields, opportunities, activities, and company information, Impact AI Studio can help turn that data into useful insight. But you stay in control. You decide what gets shared, what stays private, and how much history AI is allowed to analyze. That is the power of Impact AI Studio Research Mode. It helps you understand your contacts faster, summarize important information, identify next steps, and make better use of the data you already have inside ACT. Thanks for watching.